The air inside the bank felt thick with tension as Marcus stood at the counter clutching his papers. His palms were sweaty, his heart racing. This was supposed to be the moment when everything changed, when his dream of giving his daughter, Emily, the life she deserved would finally come true. He had worked hard, sacrificed so much, and now he was just one signature away from turning his small business into something bigger. But the bank officer, a middle-aged man in a stiff suit, didn't look like he had any interest in changing Marcus's fate. "I'm afraid I can't approve this loan," the officer said flatly, pushing the papers back toward him. Marcus blinked, his mind struggling to grasp the words. "But I've done everything you asked. My credit's good. I have a steady income." "It's not enough," the officer interrupted, not even looking him in the eye. "Your application doesn't meet our standards. I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do." Marcus's throat tightened. He felt the crushing weight of failure settle over him. He couldn't even look at his daughter, who was waiting outside with her worn backpack and hopeful eyes. Emily didn't deserve this. She deserved better. As he turned to leave, a soft voice behind him stopped him in his tracks. "Excuse me, sir. I couldn't help but overhear." Marcus turned around, startled. Standing in the doorway was a woman, tall, elegant, and exuding a quiet power that immediately drew his attention. She was impeccably dressed, her dark hair cascading over her shoulders in soft waves, and her eyes were kind, yet firm. "I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation," she repeated. "It sounds like you're in a bit of a predicament." Marcus, still stunned by the rejection, found himself staring at her. I don't know what to do," he admitted, his voice cracking. "This loan was my last chance." The woman smiled sympathetically, then glanced at the bank officer. "Is that so?" she asked. The officer, still behind his desk, didn't even seem to notice her presence. "Yes," he replied curtly. "I've already made my decision." The woman nodded thoughtfully, then turned back to Marcus. "What if I told you I could help?" Marcus was taken aback. You can help?" "I can," she said simply. "But I have a condition." A cold sweat began to form on Marcus's forehead. "What kind of condition?" The woman stepped forward, her heels clicking softly against the marble floor. "I can help you, but in exchange, I need you to work for me. My company is always looking for someone with your skill set. If you agree, I can arrange the loan approval immediately." Marcus blinked, still processing what she was saying. "Are you serious? You want me to work for you?" The woman smiled again, but this time there was something almost predatory in her gaze. "It's a fair trade. I'm offering you a second chance. The choice is yours." As Marcus stared at her, his mind raced. Was this some kind of trap? A billionaire offering him a chance at a loan in exchange for... what? His soul? His dignity? But the more he thought about it, the more he realized that he had no other choice. This woman was offering him the lifeline he had been desperately seeking. His heart sank. Could he really trust her? Before he could make up his mind, the woman's phone rang, snapping him out of his thoughts. She glanced at the screen, her face tightening slightly. "Excuse me?" she said, her voice suddenly colder. "I have to take this call. We can discuss the details later." She turned away and walked out of the bank, leaving Marcus standing there with more questions than answers. What had just happened? Was this a sign from fate? Or was it just another twist of his unlucky life? He didn't know, but he couldn't deny that a part of him, deep down, wanted to take the chance. The next day, Marcus found himself standing in front of a large glass building, her company's headquarters. He hadn't been able to sleep the night before, his thoughts swirling around the woman's offer. Was he really going to go through with this? Was he about to hand over his future to a stranger, simply for the sake of his daughter's happiness? But when Emily had woken up and asked him if he was going to get the money for the new school supplies, it broke his heart. He could lie to himself all he wanted, but the truth was undeniable. He had to make this work, no matter the cost. Inside the lobby, he was greeted by an assistant who led him to a sleek elevator. It was clear that he was out of his element here. The polished marble floors, the expensive artwork hanging on the walls, it all felt foreign to him. Yet the closer he got to her office, the more he felt as though something was about to change. She was already there, sitting behind a massive glass desk, her fingers lightly tapping on the surface. "Marcus?" she greeted him, her voice smooth and composed. "Please take a seat." He sat down, trying to calm the nerves in his stomach. "I've thought about what you said," he began, "and I'm ready to take the offer. But I need to know more. What exactly do you expect from me?" Her smile never wavered as she leaned back in her chair. "What I expect, Marcus, is very simple. I want someone who's willing to put in the work, someone who doesn't back down when things get tough. You've already proven that you have the skills. Now I just need to see your dedication." She slid a folder across the table toward him. "This contains the terms of our agreement. The loan will be approved, but you'll be under my guidance from here on out. You'll report directly to me. You'll have responsibilities, and you'll be expected to perform at your best. This isn't charity, Marcus. It's a partnership." He hesitated. It sounded too good to be true, but then again, what other options did he have? His mind raced as he signed the papers, the weight of his decision settling in. Just as he finished, the door swung open. An unfamiliar man entered carrying a box. He placed it on the desk, his face unreadable. The woman glanced at the box, then back at Marcus. "Here's the first task," she said softly. "Get familiar with what's inside. This is just the beginning." As Marcus opened the box, his breath caught in his throat. Inside was a picture of his daughter, Emily, smiling on the first day of school. The woman's voice broke the silence. "You'll do whatever it takes to make sure she's happy. Everything else will fall into place." And just like that, Marcus realized the full weight of what he had signed up for. This wasn't just about the money. It was about something much bigger. But what was the price of loyalty? And what did the woman truly want from him?